Hello, ladies and gentlemen, everything in between. Welcome back to Geeks Watches Stuff. I'd like to talk about the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, which you will see an image over here like that. Anyway, I suppose you're thinking that I'm talking about this because it's won all kinds of Oscars and awards and stuff recently. And you'll only be partially right. I actually watched this back in September when I was doing I house sat for my daughter and son-in-law for a week back in September. Brought a bunch of movies over to their house and watched them. And I came back to the house all energized to do a bunch of recordings. And that was the time I discovered that I didn't have editing software on the replacement, the warrant that I got for my warranty replacement for this thing was screwing up. So I made a video that I had planned on cutting up into editing and making it look all nice and neat, and then realized I couldn't do that and said, screw it. So as a bit of an offside, I was reminded to redo this video that I made back in September. So Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's hard to talk about without spoiling it. It really is. It's a movie about a late middle-aged woman who's just frustrated with her life. Some of it's her own fault. She's frustrated with her daughter whose life isn't going anywhere. Her husband who's kind of goofy, who's just a goofball. Her life which isn't going out how she planned it to. And it opens up with her doing her taxes. That's how the film opens. It's just her with a pile of paperwork trying to do her taxes. If you know anything about the film, if you've watched any of the trailers or things and read any of the reviews and stuff, you know it delves into multiverse theory, where there's alternate universes where we in our lives have maybe made different decisions. Instead of maybe, working at IDEX, I opened up my own restaurant, or I moved to New York and joined the Muppets. I could have done anything with my life, but I chose, I made the decisions that led me here, but in another universe, I could have made different decisions. There's an alternate version of me who made different decisions with their life. And, the main characters have a way to access that and gain skills from it through channeling their other universe self. And it's an action movie, but it's also got a really cohesive story. It's a really tight written script. This is my favorite movie of 2022, hands down. And I hate to upsell something like that if you haven't watched it yet. But at the same time, despite this movie having a really solid script, it is also bonkers. It really is. It starts off slow, and then they just start adding layers to it. It's like, oh, well, this is this kind of odd thing. They explain how it works in the elements of the story in the in-story universe. Okay, you kind of have to do this thing to make this work. Okay. And then they keep diving deeper into it. It gets bonkers, and I loved every single minute of it. There is not a moment of this that I did not, laugh or cry or just giggle my ass off, because it was just so much fun. And like I said, starts off slow, and then there was a scene that I was thinking early in the film. I was looking at something that's like, is that what I think it is? And then later on in the film, they Chekhov's gun it into something else, and you will not believe. And I'm watching it going, they're not going to do this, are they? They're not really going to do that. They're not really going to. It's like, and they went and did it. I really, really like this film because it is so bonkers. Because it does become so bonkers late in the film, or like, it starts as the movie becomes more and more bonkers. I can see that it's not going to be for everyone. I really can. To give you an idea, the two Daniels, Daniel and Daniel, the guys who wrote and directed this film, did another movie in which they got Daniel Radcliffe to play the part of a farting corpse. I'm not making that up. That's the kind of sense of humor these guys have. They're just like a bunch of college nerds going off the wall, doing whatever the hell they want. Okay, I'm done reviewing the film. I love the film. If you go watch it, I recommend it. But I'd like to talk about some other stuff outside the script. outside the film. These two guys made this movie. They filmed it in 38 days on a budget of like $14.5 million. This movie has 500 special effects cuts. They did this with a team of 5 people. 5 people did 500 special effects cuts in a 2-hour film. That's just insane. There's just so much. I mean, look at the people that got to do this film. Haekwon, what the hell is that? How do you pronounce his name? Oh, Ke-Huy Quan, the guy who played in Indiana Jones and Goonies. They got him, and and if you listen to people who are talking about this film, like Jamie Lee Curtis is like at the award ceremony, the after award ceremony, talking like almost in tears, saying that like Michelle Yeoh is the reason that I can now say Jamie Lee Curtis, award-winning actress, whatever award she won, I can't remember, but like she's almost in tears. Michelle Yeoh is thanking the two Daniels for making the film and her getting her involved in it. And Michelle is also thanking Jamie Lee Curtis. What's his name? Ke-Huy Quan is thanking Michelle Yeoh for getting him back, and Jamie Lee Curtis both back. These people are these people are getting all these accolades and not being selfish. They're not thanking themselves. They're not taking credit for anything. Every single one who's involved in this is just thanking everyone else for bringing them into this film. And it's just astonishing. Just to listen to these people talk about the experience of them working together and how much they love making this project together, how thankful they are for everyone else who helped them work on the film. If for nothing else, watch the film to see why they're so thankful. Yes, it's a bonkers film and I love it, but these people had a good time making this film in spite of the rush budget. The reason it came out, they actually filmed this right before COVID lockdown, and like the film release got delayed because of COVID. They couldn't, they had reshoots had to be done, voice work had to be done, all this other stuff had to be done that they couldn't do because of COVID lockdown. It delayed the release of the film for over a year. But these people, this was a labor of love, as weird and bizarre and as strange as it is. And it shows, this is just, these people had a blast making this film. Of all the goofy, weird, stupid, beautiful, heartfelt things that this film has, this is why people make movies. This is, to create something that's fun and entertaining and that, entertains people. This kind of movie is the reason people get into acting and why people make films and do plays and perform, is that they want to entertain people. And this does a good job of it. If I don't stop, I'm going to talk for another half an hour about this film. And I've already rambled on way longer than I expected to. And considering the fact that I mumble and stumble so much over my speech, can any of you even understand what I have been talking about for the last 8.5 minutes? Anywho, that's my review for this film. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you like this video, seriously, what the hell's wrong with you? And until next time, good hunting.